Hello and welcome to Cooking Live. You've caught us on a great night tonight because we're doing a Creole segment. And those of you who aren't familiar with Creole, it's a mainly New Orleans, southern Louisiana food. It's mainly French with Spanish and Portuguese influences and even Italian. We're going to do 4 dishes for you tonight. We're going to open up with a nice fried shrimp mixed greens with a remoulade sauce. Then we're going to move on to our crab bisque. From there, we're going to take you to a nice palate cleansing strawberry sorbet, and then on to our main course, which is going to be pork tenderloin fried with sweet potatoes. And then the dessert is going to be bananas Fosters. Alright, so let's get started. I've got 4 tenderloins, pork tenderloins. First I'm going to season them with our Cajun rub. And it's important that you season all aspects of the food in Creole cuisine because, see, like Creole, I don't know if you guys have had Creole before, but it's real bold flavors. Every part of it's got to taste good. So we're going to season this up. Then we're going to put that in the flour. First we're going to season the flour. That good and seasoned. Then, this is a technique called dredging. We're going to dredge the pork tenderloins. So it all goes in there nice and good. Alright, these are nice. Now we're going to bring these over to our pan. We've got to have a nice hot skillet for this. And instead of using regular olive oil, I'm using olive oil which has been infused with cayenne pepper to just add a little more depth to the flavor. And put a little of that in. And then you don't want too strong, so I'll add the rest of the olive oil. You need a good amount. Don't be shy on the oil. It adds flavor. Now you got to lay these in nice and gently. Okay. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to pan fry them for about 3 minutes on each side, and that'll give them a nice crust. And in Creole cuisine, they like the nice crust, and because it traps in, and the crust will turn brown, and it'll be the juices of the pork caramelized. And then we're going to pop it in the oven, cook it all the way through, keeping the juices in. Okay. So I'm here now, and I'm dicing up some apples, and a pretty rough chop, because I'm going to use this and make sort of an apple chutney for our pork chops. And in Creole cuisine, it's quite common to incorporate fruit because the spices of the meat are so strong that you need something like this to mellow it out a little bit, and it makes a nice contrast in the flavors. So once I get this, nice, it doesn't need to be real fine, because it's just a nice rough chop. Okay, so I've got this. Now into another saucepan, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. Let that go. And then into that we're going to add, this is a mixture right here of honey, sugar, lemon juice, and bourbon. Bourbon's pretty common in New Orleans cooking. So that sits there. So we get all the sugar at the bottom. And don't worry, because all the alcohol will cook off. And in there we're going to throw our apples. Let that go about 5-10 minutes until the apples are nice, and you don't want them all the way mushed through. You want a little crispness, but just enough sauce so they taste like they're done. There's a little more butter in there. Alright, so now those are looking good. Now we're going to cut over to our opening salad. So I've got mixed greens here, and then I've got our remoulade sauce. I'm going to take half of this in the mixed greens, and what's in this sauce is it's going to be Creole mustard, onion, green onion, ketchup, salt and pepper, and horseradish. Now when I said Creole mustard, it's really important that you use the actual Creole whole grain mustard, not the yellow stuff, the Hellmann's. That won't taste right at all. And, alright, I'm using my hands. Works a lot better. So you're going to put half the dressing in there right now. And then you're going to save half for later. So we've got that good in there. So we're going to put this to the side. And then we're going to take out our shrimp. What we're going to do with the shrimp is quite similar to what we did with the pork. First we're going to Give these a nice Creole rub. Just throw them in there. Nice and seasoned. Season our flour, because remember in Creole cuisine everything needs to taste. Put these in there and dredge them. Now we're going to bring these over. Maybe the apples are looking nice. Bring that over there. Throw in that pan. Remember, we're going to start off with a little cayenne infused oil to give it a nice extra kick with the rest of olive oil. And since we're making this for an aristocratic family, olive oil has got to be straight from Italy. Extra virgin. Alright, throw these in there. Now these shrimp will only take a few minutes. See the pan, test the pan. You want to test the pan, make sure the oil is hot or else the oil will absorb. That's got to go another second or so. Okay, throw that in there. Now these shrimp will really only take about maybe a minute and a half on each side. So we'll leave those and watch that. Okay, now it looks like our pork has gotten nice, caramelized on the outside, and it should be nice and juicy on the inside. Let's give it a cut. See how it looks? Perfect. Alright, so that's finished up the other dishes. Now for dessert, I'm making bananas Foster. So I've taken the bananas, cut them and quartered them. This is a dish that originated in New Orleans, very Creole. So what we have to do for this is we start off good hunk of butter in your pan. You don't want to use Teflon. You'll see why. So in the pan, we're going to add about a quarter of a cup packed brown sugar. Let that pan is a little hot for the butter. So we're taking off the heat for a second. Alright, back to the heat. So we got the butter and the brown sugar going in there. Once the butter is totally melted, like it is right now, we're going to come over here, we're going to add our bananas. Okay, now, here's the part of banana foster that makes it banana foster. We've got a quarter cup of bourbon. And add that in. And then, hopefully, all goes right. We're going to light it off. Just let that go. Put all the flame burn off. Okay, and we're done. That's that. Okay, now we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have this whole thing plated up for you. Alright, we're back. Here's the final plating. Here's the shrimp with the mixed green and the remoulade sauce. With a little extra on the side and a little onion garnish. Also a little green onion garnish. You can see the shrimp set up there nicely. In the next course, we have our crab bisque. Normally the bisques are pretty smooth, but we put some lump crab meat in there. So that's the Creole like that to really taste their food instead of being smooth. Then after these, we have a palate cleanser for the real aristocratic people who could afford to pay for ice cream, which is a real luxury in New Orleans. Next we move down. Here's our main course. The pork turned out well, and then there's the sweet potatoes and the apple garnish spread around. Here's the dessert everyone's been waiting for. The bananas Foster, served with a little bit of ice cream and a nice chocolate garnish. And that'll do it. So once again, this is cooking tonight, and you got the Creole segment where we made a Creole meal for an aristocratic family. Thank you, and get us next time.